Hey everybody, this is Freaky TV and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, we've been diving into a new game on Steam called The Infected. It's an open world zombie vampire crafting survival game set in the middle of the forest. Now this is just one video in the series, and I'll provide links in the description below to the other videos for y'all to come check out. And with no further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, for a quick base overview, I haven't changed much since the last video. If you want to go check that video out, I go over some of this stuff here. I added a couple more plant plots, so I have some more plants there. And we have a workbench here for this episode for the tutorials. We have a bunch more aluminum. We went up to the mountain and found a bunch. We added all the aluminum to here. We have 20 in there just on our way to making the oil extractor, and we have a bunch more here. And they changed the name of some other things, but we'll go over all of the changes in this last update in another video. On to the video. So this is going to be video 3 of the series, and on this video we're going to talk about general crafting of all the items in the game, or as many as we have anyway, that we've come up with, and also using the technologies that we've gained. And we're also going to go over the croc skin and how to gain it, where to get it, and how to get there. So here is where the croc skin lives. It's where the crocodiles are. You got to go get it. We got to walk all the way there and walk all the way back. We'll make it happen. It's a long journey. So on that note, let's get started. So I'm going to use this as my general area of crafting, and I'm going to take all of my items from the bins, and we're going to use this workbench here, and we're going to craft all the different items. So I'm going to go down the list. Now you already have the tutorial, which gives you an idea of how to craft the most basic of items, but I'm still going to go down the list, and we're going to start at the very top with the stone axe. And the stone axe requires 1 stick and 1 small stone. So you can gather the sticks, and you can gather the firewood that you'll need by collecting logs. And you can get logs by cutting down trees. The little thin trees will give you 3 logs, and the bigger, thicker trees will give you, I think, 5 or 6. So you just gather those logs, put them all in here in your area, and you can right-click on them and harvest. And when you harvest, it breaks the log, and you can gather the items that come out. And once you get this area, you'll be able to put them all in one box here. And there you go. So you have all your items. And now you use this for the stone axe, which is going to be 1 stick, 1 small stone. So you have a stick, 1 small stone, and these you can find on the ground randomly, or you can break down rocks that are throughout using the pickaxe, and we'll get to that a little bit later. But here, you can use your inventory to craft before you have a workbench. But for the sake of making things easier in the video, we're going to go ahead and use my handy dandy workbench that I have already set up here. So you're going to place the stick and the stone in your inventory or on the workbench. I'm just going to call it on the workbench from now on, but you'll know it's either inventory or workbench, whichever you have already. And you're going to click the craft, and that'll put it immediately in your bag. So you'll go to your bag, and this is the one that I just crafted. And that's inventory slot 3, so if you look on your keyboard, 3, it'll pull it out. So on 1, I already had 1, and that one's kind of damaged, but now we have 2. Alright, next up on the list is going to be the pick. So in order to create the pick, you're going to want to have 1 stick, 1 stone blade, and 2 plant fibers. Okay, now we already talked about the stick. Now we're going to talk about the stone blade. The stone blade actually requires you to have a rock or a stone. It's right here. Stone blade, 1 small stone. So you're going to want to create that first. We're about to have a zombie attack us. Let's go ahead and take care of this guy. Alright, we're going to take care of the zombie. We missed. Alright, took care of that. Right, now back to the pick. So we left off talking about the stone blade. Now in order to craft the stone blade, you're going to need 1 small stone. So we're going to plant the small stone onto the workbench. We're going to hit craft, and then it's going to come out to the stone blade. So then we're going to place the stone blade. We're actually going to alt right click because that's quicker. It'll put 1 item on the workbench. So then you do 2 plant fibers, which you get from cutting down a tree. Every time you cut down a tree, you get a plant fiber or a group of plant fibers. So then you craft the stone pickaxe, and here it is. Right, next up is going to be the bow. The archer bow. I don't know why they call it that, but it's the archer bow. That's going to take 1 stick and 3 rope. Now, we have the stick. We know about that. Let's talk about the rope. So for the rope, you're going to need 2 plant fibers that we talked about earlier, which you get from cutting down trees. So we go to the workbench, and we get rope with 2 plant fibers. We're going to need 3 rope to make a bow, so we'll do that 3 times. Now we have 3 rope. We can put the stick and 3 rope on the workbench, and now we have a bow. So let's craft that, and that goes in our inventory. Now we have 2 bows because we already had one before. Alright, the next thing up is the stone arrow, and ironically the stone arrow actually takes a lot more to craft than all the other items. It takes a small stone, a feather, a stick, and a rope. So conveniently we've already gathered the items. So we have a stone, a stick, rope that we just made, and a feather, which you get by killing birds. So we're going to put all of that on our workbench, alt right clicking all of them because it's way faster than dragging, and there's a stone arrow. Now when you craft a stone arrow, you're going to want to make sure you have enough slots going up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order for this thing to craft. Otherwise it's going to fall on the ground. If it doesn't have a 5 length either direction at any point, it will fall on the ground. So make sure you have enough space because it'll appear right there. And now in order to store arrows to use them for your bow, you actually have to make a quiver first. Can I help you, sir? I'm in the middle of making a video. That's very nice of you. Rude! Give me my arrow back. These things are precious. Back to what I was saying. In order to put your arrows onto the bow, you need the quiver. So, in order to make the quiver, you need 2 animal hide and 2 rope. Now the animal hide comes from killing the fox, the bear, or the deer, or the boar. Those 4 items give you animal hide. The birds do not, they give you feathers. So you kill any of those 4, you get 2 animal hides. Alright, so now we have 2 animal hides. And now, the other thing we need for the quiver is the 2 rope. So now we have the rope and the animal hide required to make the quiver. So you add those 2 to the workbench, and you craft and you have the quiver. I already have one, so I'm not going to craft one. Okay, and the next item you're going to want to make is the spear. The stone spear, which requires 1 stone blade, 1 firewood, and 5 plant fibers. We've already acquired those, so here's our firewood, our stone blade, and our 5 plant fibers. So you go ahead and throw those on, and there it is. And I'm going to craft this because I do need another one of those. And it's a sad day killing a poor little fox. Poor little guy's just going about his day, and you gotta poke him in the face twice. Put him out of his misery. Harvest him, though, and you get animal fat and animal hide. There's a bonus. Okay, so brand new in this recent update actually includes the upgrade tool. So the upgrade tool is something that you use to upgrade all of your items. Anything made from wood, you can upgrade it to brick, I think stone, or clay, or something like that. I haven't gotten that far yet. So the upgrade tool here includes 1 stick and 1 iron ingot. So let's go ahead and get those parts. So now that we have those, let's go ahead and craft that. Upgrade tool. Now I don't know if I have enough room in my bag. Let me check. I do. So we just put those on and craft it, and it automatically goes in your bag. Right there. Now something that is very little known in the game, if you take stones and you put them on the forge, you can actually come up with what is known as the iron fragment or the copper fragment. And 5 iron fragments, you can put that on the forge, and that'll make an iron ingot. So you just take your stone, you put it on the forge. I usually take a stick, light it, and then once this is done, it'll have individual, it's random whether you get iron or copper fragments, and you'll take those fragments, and once they stack to 5, you can put them back on the forge and they'll craft into an ingot. The next thing we're going to go over is the construction items as well as the placeable items. These items you can actually put down for building. You can actually put them down and then add materials later to them and destroy them as you wish. And you can actually use them to step on if you need to get up over something, or for instance if you want to walk out further onto this platform, or if you want stairs that are incomplete. For some reason you don't have to actually add materials to these in order for them to work. They just work. So what you do is you go into your inventory. You can actually delete it by pressing the delete button. And you'll want to craft it. Well, let's talk about crafting the plant bed. So the plant bed is a placeable down here. I'm going to make one because I'm going to need more anyway because I'm full. So you have add one here, and you press Q to place, and then you press tab to stop building. And then so you'll need to add 4 logs for this one to build it. So you just grab the 3 logs, place 2 logs, grab 2 more, or 1 more, I guess, and then add those 2. And then you have it. And then you can put your seed down in your water. Plants take water, obviously, as they should. And then they'll grow over time. And once it rains, water also fills up, and it'll help you out in the winter when you don't actually have any food. You can build, or have any rain anyway, you could build these basins, water basins, which will hold water indefinitely as long as you don't take it out. It'll always hold water, it doesn't go away. So the more the merrier on these, that's why I have 3. One of the most basic things in the game that you're going to want to get a handle on is crafting these crates, the stands and the crates. So the stick stand, the firewood stand, the log stand, and the stones crate are very important because you don't want to just throw them on the ground because they disappear. You don't want to just throw them in a random crate over there because they only hold so much. These hold a lot. And so you'll want these because they can always come in handy when you just have them lined up here and you need to use them. You can always just take a log off, drop it down, harvest it. I mentioned this in another video as well, but you can just add them onto the crates. And I'm missing some, there's one, another one, they're there, okay, and you just add them to it. And that'll hold all your resources for when you need to build things. That's why you keep them outside in the open where you can see them. And rain actually doesn't affect the firewood or any other wood that you put on the fire. It doesn't have an impact yet, even though it has an impact on the garden. It doesn't have an impact on the wood. Now, the biggest complaint that I see in this game is being able to fill up your carbs. Protein is easy because, protein and fat actually are easy because you just kill an animal and eat it. Put it on the fire and eat it. People often complain about the carbs because they'll find a plant in the wilderness and they'll harvest it and they'll eat it and it won't give them much. But what people don't realize is you just make these plots. Make a bunch, just indefinitely. All you need is logs. So you just cut down trees, make more. And you can plant the seeds that get when you harvest. When you go out there and you harvest the plants, you bring the seeds back and you'll always have that plant. You'll get seeds back in addition to the actual vegetable that you plant, or the fruit in the case of the watermelon. You'll actually get the seeds and the item, and then you just replant it, and then you'll always have that, and they'll never go away unless you lose the seed somehow. So that's the best way of filling up your carbs. That also fills up your vitamins, and it actually gives you energy if you eat the right thing. The best thing for health, which I'm sure is a big question, the absolute best thing for health is a cucumber. The cucumber can fill up your health in, I think, 2 or 3 from very low. So if you are low on health, eat a cucumber and it could save your life. As I've mentioned in previous videos, the most important part of building your area is actually creating a surrounding fence and gates. This will actually keep the animals from sneaking up on you, such as foxes that you won't hear, or zombies just running right at you. You can keep them at bay, and you can just poke them through the fence or shoot them with a bow and arrow. This is actually really good in staying alive and keeping your health up, because they actually do a lot of damage. You can get, without any armor, you can actually get hit by a zombie 3 times, or a fox 4 times, I believe, and that'll kill you. And it'll cause you bleeding every time they hit you. It'll actually cause you to bleed in different parts of your body, and that'll just take time from having to, it'll compound the damage that they can actually do to you because you're bleeding, so you're losing life and then they're hitting you more. So it's best to keep them at bay and prevent getting hit altogether. So one new neat feature they introduced with this new brick and cement update is the ability to press G to turn on your health and stamina. That is really nice to see when you're running and to be able to tell what your health is anytime you're fighting an animal, to know if you're near death so you can run away and hide. Before you had to actually get into your tab menu and see it, and now you don't have to waste your time, it's right there. But one downfall with that, there is a bug. If you go into your menu and you get out of your menu, it defaults to off and you have to turn it back on again. I think that's a nuisance and I think that needs to be fixed. Alright, so the last part of this video is going to be making our run up here to get some croc skins so we can make our big backpack. And I'm going to cut out the run and I'll see you guys there. Alright, so we made it to the area with the crocs, and now we're going to go ahead and find them and kill them. Well, there's a bird flopping to the ground. Nice, you just drowned. Alright, we found a croc right here on the other side of this tree. We're going to come up on him and see if we can't kill him. Alright, so we've surrounded ourselves with 4 crocs right now. There's one over here, right there, and there's 3 right here. This one seems to have found me. So let's go ahead and get ready to fight him. He looks pretty dangerous. Let's seem to kill him. Let's make sure we don't die. Nice. There's our first croc, guys. So we made it back safely from the croc area, and we have all 8 of our croc skins and our 2 ropes. So now we're going to go ahead and add all of these items onto our loom that we have the technology to use. And now we have a large backpack. Look at that. Fantastic. Look at all the space that has. Holy cow. And it looks nice too. Look at the croc skin around it. I am happy about this. This is awesome. Can you carry more? No. You can only carry... Okay. That's not bad because you can carry... Okay. That's funny. Must be our food satchel. And this is our bag. That's awesome though. I don't care. This is insane. And we went from 50 to 75 carrying space. That is awesome. Okay everybody, that's going to wrap up video 3 of the Infected series. I hope you found this to be informative and helpful, and if so, don't hesitate to throw us a like. If you enjoyed the video and wish to see more videos with similar content, a subscription is the best way to stay informed on future posts, and don't forget to turn on the notifications so you can get notified of any new uploads. I encourage everyone to use the comment section to let us know what you thought of the video, as well as your own Infected gaming experiences. If you didn't like the video, also let us know in the comments. And once again, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you join us for our future uploads in the series.